The Grand Hall of Galactic Station Prime was glowing with lights. Thousands of aliens from across the stars had gathered to witness the ceremony of strength, an annual test where each species showed its strongest warrior. Flags of different worlds hung high, and the arena floor sparkled beneath the blue force field above. It was more than just a test. It was a way to prove power, earn respect, and keep peace among species that had once gone to war. This year, for the first time in history, Earth had sent someone, and when the humans stepped into the arena, the crowd laughed. She was short, thin, pale-skinned, wearing no armor, no weapon, no fear. Her name was Erin Vale. She looked like a civilian lost in a military parade. The alien beside her was the opposite. General Krorak of the Zorthak Legion stood 10 feet tall, his forearms crossed, skin dark green and armor thick like a tank. His voice boomed like thunder as he laughed. "This is Earth's champion?" Krorak shouted. "Are humans truly this weak?" The crowd cheered. Others joined the mocking. Erin said nothing. She looked at Krorak with calm eyes. No smile. No fear. Just stillness. High above, the announcer's voice echoed across the hall. "As agreed by the council, there will be no weapons. No armor, no tech, only strength. Earth's representative will face General Krorak. The match ends by surrender or incapacity. Begin." The signal flashed green. Krorak rolled his neck, cracked his knuckles, and stomped forward. Erin did not move. He walked in a circle around her, like a predator teasing prey. "Move, human. Make it fun." She didn't speak. Krorak stepped closer, chest puffed out. "Come on, fight, or are you frozen in fear?" Still, she stood. The crowd began to murmur, confused, bored, disappointed. Krorak snarled, "I'll make the first move then." He lunged forward, reaching to grab her shoulder crack. In a flash, the silence was torn. Krorak screamed. One of his forearms bent the wrong way, completely snapped at the joint. Bones broken. Muscle twisted. It happened so fast, no one saw her move. Krorak stumbled back, howling. Blood dripped from his shattered limb. Erin was standing exactly where she had been, hands by her side, still expressionless. The camera drones zoomed in on her face. She didn't blink. Across the arena, the crowd fell silent. Then gasps. Then shock. "No way. She didn't move. Did you see her move? What just happened?" Even the council members watching from their private skybox looked at each other, stunned. The medical team ran to Krorak, who clutched his broken arm and shook with pain. One of them shouted, "He's out. The fight is over. Winner, Earth." The announcement echoed, but no one clapped. They were too stunned. Arin turned and walked away. No smile, no pride. Just silence. 15 minutes earlier, before the match began, Erin had sat in a small waiting room beneath the arena. Alone. There were no mirrors, no music, just her heartbeat. Her Earth uniform was light, gray, simple, no symbols. Just the patch on her shoulder that said, "Project Hush," a name no alien understood. A soft voice came through the wall speaker. "Erin, they're ready for you." She stood up slowly and walked to the lift. As the platform rose, she could hear the roars above. Not cheers for her, cheers for the giant waiting to crush her. But Erin wasn't afraid. She wasn't angry either. She was focused. Inside her, something had always been quiet, like a calm ocean hiding something dark at the bottom. Today, the surface would ripple, but only once. Back in the arena after the fight, the news spread like wildfire. Screens across the station played the slow-motion footage again and again. Alien commentators argued. How did she do it? Was it tech? Was it psychic? Is she even human? Some said it was a trick. Some called it cheating. Others watched in silence and felt fear. In the Zorthak medical wing, General Krorak sat on a steel bed, his arm wrapped in a tight cast. The painkillers barely helped. His second-in-command entered, helmet under one arm. "She did something to your nerves," he said quietly. Krorak growled. "No, it wasn't nerves. She didn't just break my arm." She looked at me, and I froze. "You mean fear?" Krorak stared at the wall. "I've fought monsters. She's not a monster. She's something worse." That Niteran stood at the edge of the viewing deck, looking out at the stars. The glass was cold against her hand. Behind her, someone walked in. Ambassador Reeve, Earth's representative to the Galactic Council. "You made quite an impression," he said softly. Aaron didn't turn. "I didn't want to." Reeve stepped beside her. "They're calling you a weapon." "I'm not. Then what are you?" She looked at her reflection in the glass, a reminder. Meanwhile, across the stars on distant planets, military leaders rewatched the footage. On pirate ships, warlords paused their feasts to listen. In council chambers, old species whispered. One small action had shaken the balance. The humans had sent no army, no fleet, just one quiet girl, and she had broken a general in seconds. Not with rage, not with power. With silence. Unknown to Alin, a deep, locked vault on Earth. Hidden files flashed red. Project Hush. Level 9 clearance. Recoreta silent alert activated. Subject Aaron Vale. Observed an open demonstration. Risk of exposure high. 2 scientists looked at the screen. "She's active." Was this authorized? "No, but we can't stop her now." Then we watch, and we pray she stays silent. Back on Galactic Prime, in the days after the fight, things changed. Aliens who once mocked humans began to step back. When they passed one in the hallway, the name Aaron Vale spread like wildfire. She was offered interviews. She refused. She was offered prizes. She ignored them. Every warrior who once laughed at Earth now watched their words, and those who didn't would soon find out why silence could be more dangerous than sound. It started as just another fight clip. At first, only a few space stations played it. The match was short, 30 seconds long. No big battle, no explosions, but it spread fast. Not because of action, but because of what wasn't there. There was no sound from the girl. No motion before the break. No warning. One moment she stood still. The next, General Krorak's arm was hanging like a broken branch. And that silence? It hit harder than any punch. Across the galaxy, screens across the stars played the moment. Again and again. In the Carthel Empire, military officers paused training drills to watch it. In the Venari Union, scholars debated whether it was physics or telepathy. And in the dark corners of the black market, bounty hunters whispered one word over and over: human. Some said the footage was fake, some said it was real, but edited. And then someone posted the raw camera angle taken from a floating drone. Above the arena. It showed it clearly. She didn't move, but Krorak's arm snapped, not pulled, not twisted. Just broken, like something in the air shattered his bones before he even realized it. On the moon of Selikor, a young alien boy, blue-skinned with glowing eyes, watched the clip with his mother. He asked, "Is she a witch?" His mother turned off the screen. "No, she's worse." Galactic media reaction, the biggest anchor on the galactic network. Zal Nor stared wide-eyed as he played the clip again. This human female, Aaron Vale, has shocked the universe. No tech, no words, no known background. Behind him, the screen replayed the moment in slow motion. This is not a soldier. She didn't wear Earth's military colors. She didn't raise a hand, yet she disabled a general in seconds. He looked directly into the camera. If this is Earth's idea of peace, what does war look like? Who is Aaron Vale? That became the question of the week. Every system wanted answers. Was she trained? Was she genetically modified? Was she even fully human? Alien networks began offering rewards for any information on her. Some claimed she was a rogue soldier. Others said she was a spy. A few believed she wasn't even from Earth, but from some hidden lab deep underground. the whisper of Project. Hush! 3 days later, something strange happened. A leak. Someone from inside the Earth military sent out a file. Just a single page. No photos. No reports. Just one line. Project Hush. Level 9 clearance required. Subject: Aaron Vale. Status: unstable but controlled. It was signed by someone called Dr. C. Marin. That file spread faster than the original video. And the word Hush became the new fear across the galaxy. What is Project Hush? Alien scientists speculated online. It's a mind control program. No, it's human cloning. No. It's worse. It's silence-based psychological warfare. Someone even created a theory thread titled, "Did Earth create living weapons trained never to speak?" Meanwhile, Erin was quiet. She hadn't left her room since the match. She ate alone, slept little, watched the stars from the viewing deck, and she refused every interview request, no matter how rich, famous, or powerful the sender was. Behind closed doors in the council chamber, species leaders argued. She must be detained. Earth must explain. Is this an act of war? Earth's ambassador, Reeve, kept calm. She didn't attack. She defended herself. The Zorthic ambassador slammed the table. She broke our general's arm in public. She responded to a threat, Reeve said. Maybe your general shouldn't have touched her. The room went silent. Even the angry ones knew. Reeve was right. Meanwhile, on a pirate station, deep in space, in a lawless system, a group of mercenaries watched the video again. One of them, Skarn the Butcher, laughed. She's just a girl. I could take her. Another, smaller alien whispered, go ahead, but if you die, can I keep your boots? Back on Galactic, Primurin sat alone in her dark room, watching the galaxy scream about her news clips, fan theories. Angry aliens, her face was now everywhere. Posters, memes, warnings. She touched the side of her head. There was a small scar just behind the ear. She whispered to herself for the first time in days, I didn't ask for this. Inside Earth military HQI and a secure bunker beneath the Martian colony, Earth generals met in secret. General Hart looked at the screen showing Erin's face. She was supposed to observe, blend in. Another officer replied, the alien touched her. She was trained to stay calm. She was trained to end threats. They fell silent. One file sat unopened on the table. It was marked, Hush Protocol Release Condition, Code Giorino 101. Touched it. Not yet. Galactic reaction changes in the first 3 days. Most aliens laughed at the idea of humans being dangerous. By day 6. No one was laughing. By day 7. Ships passing by human-controlled zones began taking longer routes. By day 10. New military ships started appearing around Earth's moons, not to attack but to watch. Then came the imitators on a mining colony. A local thug tried to copy Aaron. He faced a larger alien and stood still, arms by his side. Fear me, he said. The alien punched him across the docking bay. It was clear. Aaron wasn't a trick. She wasn't pretending. She was something else. In a hidden chat room, a message appeared between two unknown users. User 1. Did you see her eyes? User 2. No fear. User 1. Not even hate. User 2. Just silence. User 1. She's not the last one, is she? User 2. I don't think so. In her room, Erin waited. She stared out at the galaxy. She didn't blink much, didn't sleep long. And when her communicator buzzed with another message request, she simply turned it off. But before she shut it down, one message caught her eye, from a hidden sender. You're not alone. They'll come for you now. Hidden on Earth in an old lab, buried deep beneath the frozen lands of Antarctica. A group of scientists stood before a row of silent pods. Each pod contained a name. One of them read, Vale 17, status, awake. The rest? Valo 1 to 16, dormant. A technician whispered, if Erin activated herself, What wakes the others? Aliens began to fear the unknown before. They thought humans were just smart traders and engineers. Now they weren't sure. Were humans hiding living weapons? Were there more like Erin? Could she destroy a ship? A city? No one knew, and that mystery was more terrifying than any open war. Final scene. Back on Galactic Prime, Irene sat in the garden level of the space station. For the first time, someone approached her without fear. It was a child. A small alien girl. She held a drawing. It showed Erin standing with stars behind her. "You look sad in the video," the girl said. Erin looked at the picture, then whispered, "Sometimes quiet people hurt the most." The child tilted her head. "But you're not hurting them back?" Erin looked at the stars again. Not yet. 4 days after the ceremony, the arena had been cleaned. No blood, no sound, no signs of the moment that shook the galaxy. But whispers still filled the air. She didn't move. She didn't speak. She broke him like he was made of paper. And now others were curious. Curious. Or foolish. Enter the crew of the Krexel's Claw, a gang of warriors known for mocking the Council, raiding weak colonies, and testing their strength in public. They arrived on Galactic Prime with one goal: provoke the human. The leader, Vorthan, was a six-eyed brute with cybernetic arms and a reputation for breaking bones and cameras. During interviews, he had one rule: no fear, only force. When he watched the footage of Erin breaking General Krorak's arm, he didn't feel scared. He felt insulted. "She's a trick, a puppet," he growled. "I want to see if she breaks when I push back." The plan. Vorthan and his crew entered the public levels of the station. They didn't go quietly. They stomped through restaurants, shoved people in corridors, mocked humans wherever they saw them. Then they found her. Erin Vale was sitting at a bench near the fountain garden, sipping from a cup, alone as always. No guards. No security drones. Just peace. Vorthan smirked. "She's smaller in person." His second, a clawed creature named Jarn, nodded. "You sure this is smart?" Vorthan laughed. "That's the point." The confrontation begins. He stepped forward, loud on purpose. "Human!" he barked. Erin looked up slowly. Not startled. Not scared. Just calm. "You broke Krorak, huh?" Vorthan grinned. "Bet you can't do that to someone who fights." Back. She didn't answer, didn't blink, didn't move. That silence again. It dug into him. So he stepped closer. Too close. "Say something, weapon girl." Still no answer. The garden grew quiet. A few aliens nearby stepped away. One whispered, "He doesn't know what he's doing." Vorthan reaches. He raised his hand. Not to hit. Just to poke her. A warning. A threat. His metal finger moved toward her forehead. Snap. In less than a second, his entire arm twisted backward with a sound like cracking wood. He screamed. Everyone around froze. Just like before. Erin didn't move. Not visibly. Not physically. But the result was the same. Vorthan hit the ground, howling in pain. His crew stepped forward in rage, but Erin stood up. Her eyes were cold. No emotion. Just a stillness that felt like pressure in the air. She looked at them. All of them. Not with hate, but with finality. Jarn backed away. Another crew member dropped his weapon without realizing. None of them attacked. They couldn't. They were too scared. Security arrives. Galactic Station security swarmed the area. Blasters ready. "Step back." The officer yelled Farai and raised her hands calmly. "I'm not a threat," she said, her voice soft, steady, calm. It was the first time most had heard it. The officer looked down at Vorthan, who was crying on the floor, his arm bent wrong. He looked back at Erin. "Then what are you?" She said nothing. The cameras caught everything once again. Footage exploded across the galaxy. Another massive warrior. Another shattered limb. Another moment of silence and calm turning into pain and fear. But this time, she had spoken, and that one sentence caused more chaos than any weapon could. "I'm not a threat." Galactic analysts screamed, "She's lying. No one that calm is harmless." She stopped herself. Imagine if she didn't. Theories grew wilder. She's telekinetic. She manipulates gravity. She controls fear through eye contact. She breaks bones by willpower alone. But none of them had proof, because Aaron never showed how. She just looked, and people broke. In the council chamber, the council was furious. This is the second time. She's a living danger. She must be arrested. But Earth's Ambassador Reeve stood calmly again. She was provoked. Your rules allow for self-defense. She didn't even touch him. Reeve smiled. Exactly. Back on Earth deep underground, a small team of scientists activated emergency files. One screen flashed red. Project HUSH subject. Aaron Vale, status, active in OP-NDR. Marin, head of the project, rubbed her temples. She was supposed to observe only. Her assistant asked, "Should we recall her?" Marin shook her head. She can't be recalled. She doesn't take orders anymore. A message from Earth. After days of silence, Earth finally sent an open message to the Council. It was short, direct. We regret any harm caused. Aaron Vale is not a soldier. She is a reminder of restraint. If she were meant to attack, you'd know it by now. The message ended with one sentence. Silence is Earth's final warning. Across the stars, some laughed, some shivered, and some took action. On the outer edge of Council space, a private military group, known as the Scark Syndicate, decided to challenge the human. They weren't part of the Council. They answered to no rules. They were known for hunting dangerous creatures and making examples. One of them said, "She's small. Soft, it'll be easy." Their captain replied, "Then bring chains. I want her alive." Back on Galactic, Primeran sat in a quiet hallway. Far from the crowd. Her communicator buzzed again. This time, it wasn't a message. It was a warning alert. Her eyes narrowed. She stood up slowly, walked toward the upper station, and said softly to herself, "They're coming." Final scene. Somewhere unknown inside a shadowy prison. A creature chained to the wall watched the broadcast of Aaron snapping Vorthan's arm. He smiled slowly. His voice cracked as he spoke. "So, they woke one." The guards didn't understand his words, but his next sentence made their skin crawl. "When the second one speaks, the galaxy will bleed." A ship without a flag. The vessel drifted in dark space. No beacon, no ID, no signal. Inside were 5 elite hunters from the Scark Syndicate, trained to kill anything, paid to silence problems. And today, their target was Aaron Vale. She broke a general. She broke a warlord. "We'll break her," growled their leader. Droken, he wasn't interested in the Council's warnings or Earth's messages. He believed one thing only. If it bleeds, we can cage it. He didn't care that Aaron never bled. Didn't care that she never struck first. He just wanted to see what she was made of. Location. Galactic Prime Upper Levelerin stood alone on a rooftop. Her face lifted toward the stars. She wasn't hiding. She was waiting. A soft wind blew through her hair. Behind her, no weapons. No armor. Just a plain shirt, pants, and that same silence. The drop without warning. The sky cracked. The hunters dropped from orbit in stealth pods, silent black darts falling through the atmosphere. 1 landed near the station's power core. 1 on the market deck. 3 surrounded the rooftop. They moved fast. Too fast for cameras to follow. But Aaron didn't move, didn't flinch. She closed her eyes and whispered, "They're here." Inside the lab on Earth DR. Marin slammed her fist against the control panel. "They found her." "Already?" A young tech gasped. "The Scarks. They breached the station. No warning. They won't survive," Marin muttered. "They don't understand what she is." The screen showed Aaron just standing there. No escape route. No shield. Nothing. But Marin knew. The silence was not weakness. It was the signal. First strike. First lesson. Droken himself stepped onto the rooftop. He towered over Aaron, armored head to toe, with claws designed to tear steel. "Cute," he said, walking in circles around her. "You're not even trying." Aaron looked at him, but didn't speak. He swung his fist. Hard, faster than most could track. It should have broken her skull, but it stopped. His entire arm froze mid-air. No field. No beam. He couldn't move it. He screamed in confusion. Then, with a sickening pop, his shoulder dislocated itself. He dropped to one knee. The second hunter jumped in, blades ready. He vanished mid-air. Just vanished. Gone. No body. No sound. Cameras malfunction on every level of the station. Video feeds GLITCHED. Security drones failed. Emergency alerts never reached command. But people felt something. Pressure in the air. Like space itself held its breath. Like something ancient had just awakened. Back in the council hall, ambassadors were screaming. "They're killing her." "No, she's not moving." Earth's ambassador Reeve leaned forward, eyes cold, voice steady. "They sent hunters." She sent a message. Third hunter tries a trick. He used cloaking. A special suit made from nanotech. Invisible to the eye. He moved behind Aaron, raised a plasma blade, charged it silently. He stepped close enough to whisper, "Die quiet." But before the blade could fall, his own scream pierced the rooftop. He was holding his own blade, now buried deep in his shoulder. His hand was no longer under his control. Something had turned him against himself. He fell. Whimpering. Alive, but broken. Droken's final mistake. On his knees, one arm useless. Droken glared at her. "You're not even fighting back." He shouted, "Do something." Aaron opened her eyes. Calm, empty. And whispered, "I already did." Droken's vision blurred. He looked at his men. Gone. One vanished. One down, one crying. He tried to stand. Coldn single quotes D. He fell again. This time, not from pain, but from fear. Something inside him, something primal, shut down. He knew then. She wasn't made for war. She was made to end it. Hidden broadcast, though most systems lost the video feed. One pirate signal remained open. A young hacker from the asteroid colony Kresh recorded everything. He didn't edit, didn't cut, just posted the full raw footage. Title: "They came for her. None left standing." Within hours, it had 40 million views across 4 systems. The galaxy watched in silence. In a vault beneath Antarctica. Back on Earth, Dr. Marin stared at another screen. She didn't smile, didn't blink. She just whispered, "She's stabilizing." The assistant gulped. "What happens when she reaches full balance?" Marin said nothing, but on the screen, Aaron's heartbeat was steady. Her stress, 0. Her emotion level, unreadable. Syndicate response, the Skarks. Syndicate sent an angry message to the Galactic Council. "One human crippled our top hunters. We demand justice." But the Council didn't reply, because they had seen the footage, too. And some of their own guards had started quitting. They didn't want to be stationed near Aaron Vale. They didn't even want to be on the same planet. Meanwhile, Aaron walks away. She left the rooftop alone. No ship. No escort. She walked down the corridors of Galactic Prime like nothing happened. She passed a group of alien children. One asked, "Are you the girl who makes bad people fall?" Aaron paused, then smiled softly. "Just once. Only when they ask for it." Final scene. A dark room somewhere unknown. Chained prisoner watched the pirate feed. He laughed hard. "She's learning fast," he said, then turned to the guard. "Do you know how many were made like her?" The guard said nothing. The prisoner smiled wider. 17. Then his voice grew dark. "And she was the weakest." Deep inside Sector 9 detention moon, the cell was sealed by 10 Layers of neutron glass, surrounded by vacuum fields. No sound. No escape. The prisoner sat cross-legged in the center. No chains. No need. He couldn't walk anymore, because the council broke his body, but they never broke his mind. His name was Kale Orr. He was known by many titles. The Whispering Blade, the first human weapon, the one Earth buried, and he had just watched the footage of Erin Vale. They activated her, he whispered, smiling, but they didn't wake her. Council Intel logs, classified, Project Hush, Subject 01, Kale Orr. Status, erased subject. 7. Erin Vale, status. Active subject 0917 status. In stasis log note, 01 cannot be allowed to speak. His voice alone is a weapon. Inside the council chambers, the high speaker slammed her fist on the table. She's out of control. Now even the Skark Syndicate is demanding war. Earth's ambassador, Reeve, leaned forward. You want to silence the girl who hasn't killed a single person, while your mercenaries drop from orbit to capture her like prey. Another ambassador growled. You're hiding something. Reeve replied with ice in his voice. You're right. The room went still, but Reeve continued. We gave the galaxy peace. You rejected it. Alarms on the detention moon. Kale Orr's cell lit up red. He raised his eyes to the ceiling, laughing. They're coming, he whispered. The guard slammed the door open. Quiet. Kale looked at him and said gently, She's not like M.E., but she'll remember soon. The guard froze. Something in those words hurt more than a knife. He backed out and sealed the door. But he didn't realize Kale had never spoken out loud. The words were inside his head. Meanwhile, on a transport ship, Erin Vale sat silently in the back. Earth was recalling her, but not to hide her, to ask questions. The ship flew quietly through the stars. Beside her sat Agent Varen, half human, half AI, cold, efficient. Do you know what you are? He asked without looking at her. Arying didn't answer. You're not a soldier, he continued, but you make armies kneel. Still no reply. Then she asked, Why do people scream before I touch them? Varen paused. He looked at her. Then said softly, Because you don't touch their bodies. You touch their will. Back in Earth's deep lab DR, Marin studied new results from Erin's recent encounters. No physical contact. No known energy output. No psionics detected. The assistant asked, Then what's happening? Marin replied, She learned something we didn't teach her. The assistant frowned. Learned what? Restraint. Marin whispered. And restraint from what is the scariest question of all? On the detention moon. Blackout. Suddenly, the entire moon flickered. Power systems shut down. Containment. Locks broke for half a second. Just one. Long enough for Kale Orr to stand. He hadn't walked in 11 years. But now, he was on his feet. He stood in silence, staring into the shadows of the moon's metal halls. Then said, It's time. He took one step forward and disappeared. Council emergency broadcast. A new alert shocked every screen. High-level prisoner 01 has escaped detention moon 9. Do not engage. Do not approach. He will not kill you. He will end you. Erin wakes from sleep midway through hyperspace. Erin's eyes opened wide. She gasped, sat up. Her chest rose and fell fast. Agent Varen turned to her. What is it? She whispered one word. Kale. Varen froze. Impossible. He's dead. No, Erin said. He's awake. And then, like someone turned on a switch inside her, she remembered. A flash. A hallway of glass. A name written in red. 17 doors. Only 2 open. Earth reacts back on Earth. Dr. Marin's monitor lit up with a code she never thought she'd see. Twin protocol broken. She dropped her mug. No, not now. Not yet. She looked at her assistant. We need to warn the council. If Kale and Erin reunite, Will they destroy us? The assistant asked. Marin's voice broke. No, they'll make us look small. Kale's first move a small pirate fleet near the edge of galactic trade lanes vanished. No explosions, no wreckage, no SOAs. Just gone. A passing patrol ship scanned the area. One word was burned into their hull. She's not alone. Back on Aaron's ship, alarms blared. Unauthorized gravity fluctuation. The ship's AI called. Agent Varen drew his sidearm. Aaron stood up slowly. Don't shoot, she said. Aaron pointed his weapon at the air. I wasn't aiming at you. Then Kale stepped through the wall, not by force. Not with tools. He simply appeared. Like reality had folded to let him pass. The reunion Kale looked older, tired, but his eyes were alive with something ancient. He looked at Aaron and smiled. Sister, Aaron stepped forward. Not afraid, not surprised. Certain. Why now? She asked. Kale looked at the stars outside the window. Because they broke the silence. Final scene. Council meeting interrupted suddenly. All screens in the council chamber flickered. Two figures stood in a silent video feed. One was Arin. The other Kale. No message. No threat. Just them. Looking. Together. Watching. And the galaxy held its breath. Last transmission. The video clip spread across every star system. Two humans, no weapons, no threats. Just standing side by side, staring through the screen. The galaxy didn't understand what it meant, but everyone felt it. Something ancient. Something quiet. Something far more dangerous than war. Location: Earth's deep vault. Pull the plug. The technician shouted. Dr. Marin slammed her hand on the command panel. It's too late. They're synchronized. On her screen, two heartbeat monitors now pulsed as one. Aaron Vale and Kale Orr, no longer apart. Their minds had connected again. Their memories were unlocking, and their power was rebuilding. Flashback, 11 years ago, a room of steel and glass. Children in plain white suits. Numbers on their backs. They weren't playing. They were learning to obey. One girl. One boy. Number 07. Number 01. They sat together, whispering things no scientist could hear. When one was punished, the other felt it. When one was isolated, the other waited. They were not made. They were born for this. Together. Until Earth got scared and broke them apart. On board the silent vessel now. In real time, Kale and Aaron sat across from each other in silence. No ship hum. No sound. Kale looked tired, but his voice was calm. They called us weapons, Aaron replied. But we never chose war. He smiled. They'll force it anyway. Aaron stared at the stars. I won't hurt them unless they beg for it. Kale nodded slowly. That's what makes you stronger. Council emergency meeting ambassadors shouted. One slammed his data pad. 2 humans are controlling fear across 10 systems without even speaking. Another growled. Send in the Leviathan-class cruisers. Wipe them out. But Earth's Ambassador Reeve stood, calm, straight. Go ahead, try. Are you threatening us? Someone asked. Reeve shook his head. No, I'm warning you. You tried to cage silence. Now it's listening. Military movement begins 6. Fleets moved into the outer sector. Drones were dispatched to scan the area for Aaron and Kale's ship. Weapons charged. Orders clear. Do not communicate. Do not negotiate. Destroy on sight. But every drone failed to return. No explosion. No signal. Just silence. Dr. Marin's secret back on Earth. Marin opened a hidden file. One no one had seen in a decade. It was marked, The Promise Project. The screen showed 17 profiles. Each face of a child. All born on Earth. All with something alien understood. Not strength. Not speed. But emotional gravity. A pull that could turn kings into beggars. Arin, Kale, and 15 more still asleep. Marin whispered. They were never made to fight. They were made to decide. Meanwhile, on board the Council flagship, Admiral Zaylor, a four-armed reptilian commander, stood in front of his fleet. "We are not afraid of humans," he barked. "We burned their cities once." But behind his voice, his second-in-command whispered, "Sir, they're already here." Zaylor turned, his flagship's window filled with the image of Kale and Aaron's ship, now hovering just meters away. No sound, no threat, just presence. Then a voice entered his mind, not through the radio, through fear itself. "Leave." Zaylor fell to one knee, gasping for air. He tried to order an attack, but his hands wouldn't move, and neither would anyone else's. Inside Aaron's mind, she wasn't angry. She wasn't proud, but she was tired of being chased. Tired of being a warning. Tired of the galaxy treating peace like weakness. Kale placed a hand on her shoulder. "You don't need to destroy them," he said. "I know," she replied. "I just need to remind them. What happens next shakes the galaxy. Every fleet within 10 light years suddenly lost all power, engines, weapons, shields, all went cold. Ships floated helplessly. And on every screen, the same image appeared. 2 humans standing. One message: "You don't fear us because we're strong. You fear us because we haven't used it yet." Alien reactions across the galaxy. On the mining planet Raskin 5, workers stopped drilling. In the pleasure domes of Vithar, dancers paused mid-step. Even in war zones, alien soldiers lowered their weapons to stare at the flickering message in the sky. Some called it a miracle, some called it a threat, but all agreed on one thing: Earth had returned. And it brought something different this time. Final scene. A message sent back to Earth. Kale looked at Aaron. "Ready?" he asked. She nodded. Together, they recorded just 4 words. It was sent directly to Earth's highest command. No encryption, no delay, just a single transmission. "Wake the other 15. Location: Earth's Black Vault. Hidden facility 0 deep underground, in a sealed chamber only 5 people knew about. 15 pods sat in silence. Each pod held a child, now grown. Not fully awake, not fully asleep. These weren't soldiers. They were the last hope. Earth never wanted to use until now. Dr. Marin stared at the blinking command screen. Her hand trembled. The message was simple: "Wake them." Pod status changing 1 by 1. Lights turned green. Vital signs rising. Brain activity off the charts. But their eyes stayed closed. Their minds were already reaching out. Dr. Marin whispered to herself, "They're already connected." She wasn't wrong. Thousands of miles above, Kale and Aaron looked up suddenly at the same time. Kale grinned. Aaron closed her eyes and nodded. "They're listening." Council headquarters. Panic spreading. Every system received the same pulse. No one knew where it came from, but the message was clear. Not in sound, not in words, but in feeling. A warning, not from 1 human, not from 2, but 17 minds stretching across the stars, and they were waking up. Fleet Commander's log. Urgent Admiral Tekvar, leader of the Valari Strike Armada, recorded his final message. He sat in his warship, thousands of cannons behind him, yet his face was pale. "We once feared Earth's machines," he said. "Then we feared their ships." He looked into the lens. "But now, we fear their silence." Then, the lights in his ship turned off. No attack. No damage. Just stillness. He screamed. No one heard him. Inside the pod network, the 17 inside the neural space, the minds of the sleepers connected. Images of deserts, oceans, cities, and stars flowed between them. Some were calm. Some were angry, but all were awake. A boy with blue eyes whispered, "They want war." A girl with silver hair smiled, "Let them try." Another voice echoed loudest, "We won't start this, but we will end it." Across the galaxy, civilian worlds respond. Something strange happened. Planets that had long hated each other stopped fighting. Ships once pointed at enemies drifted away, because for the first time they all felt the same thing: human stillness, not death, not destruction, but a calm so deep it scared them more than any weapon ever had. Council High Command, broken from within, ambassadors yelled in fear. "We can't stop them." One general slammed a data slab down. "What do they want?" "Earth's." Ambassador Reeve finally spoke, calm and slow. "They want nothing." The room went silent. He continued, "That's what makes them dangerous. They're not asking. They're watching." On Kale and Aaron's ship the two stood side by side again. But this time, they weren't alone. A circle of lights appeared around them, each one representing a waking mind. One spoke aloud. "Do we return to Earth?" Kale shook his head. "No. Earth's done enough." Aaron stepped forward and said, "We don't return, we rise." Alien assassins make their move desperate. The Council hired the last tool they had, the Black Creed. 12 assassins, one from each major race. They found Aaron and Kale's location, boarded the ship. Weapons ready. But as they stepped inside, they heard a voice not in the air, but in their minds. "You were not sent to kill us, you were sent to test us." One by one, they dropped their weapons. One fell to his knees, crying. The Creed never fought again. Earth's final decision. Dr. Marin stood alone in Vault 0, all pods now open. 15 stood quietly, eyes calm, power humming inside them. She walked to a console, a red switch, one she was told never to touch, but she did, and the screen displayed, "Project Promise, full. Release granted, above Earth." 17 signals lit the sky, and the galaxy felt something shift. Final message to the galaxy. Every screen turned black. Then a face appeared. Not Aaron, not Kale, but a new voice. "One of the others," he said. "We were told to stay quiet. We stayed. We were told to be still. We waited. Now you poke the storm. Let's see how long you last standing in it." Then the signal cut. The sky changed first all across the galaxy. Things were shifting. Stars flickered. Satellites failed. Wormholes vanished. And then, the sky itself turned black over 5 systems. Not because of night, but because something huge was above them. Not ships. 17. Human minds projected like gods above entire planets. On the Council's home planet emergency. Sirens howled. Ambassadors packed up data, gold, anything they could carry. Ships launched into orbit. One alien screamed, "We waited too long." Another cried, "Where's the fleet?" But it was already too late. The fleets had disappeared. No wreckage, no signal. Just gone, like they never existed. Neural link, fully online. Kale, Aaron, and the others floated in silence inside their ship. Not flying, not moving. Just thinking. And with every thought, gravity bent, time bent. The stars bent. They were no longer reacting to the galaxy. They were shaping it. Kale opened his eyes and whispered, "They chose fear. We'll give them memory." The reversal begins across dozens of planets. History started changing. Weapons became plants. Cities turned back to forests. Ruins of old wars rebuilt themselves, then disappeared again. It wasn't magic. It was human will, stretched across reality. One child in a village pointed at the sky. "Mama, the stars are running." She was right. Whole constellations blinked out. Not destroyed, removed. Dr. Marin's final report, her voice was shaky. "They're not just powerful. They're rewriting cause and effect." She stared at the live feed. Kale was standing still. No armor. No anger. But entire moons were moving when he blinked. Aaron raised her hand slowly, and a solar flare bent away from a helpless world. Marin whispered, "This isn't war. This is judgment." The survivors' plan. A few alien leaders tried to run deep into uncharted space, using cloaked drives, silent systems. But they didn't. Understand that the humans weren't tracking ships. They were feeling regret and following it like heat. One by one, the escape ships stopped, frozen in time. No explosions. Just a quiet message blinking in their cabins. Wherever you go, we were already there. The promises truth back on Earth. Hidden tapes were released. Old files. Government lies. Broken promises. The truth was clear. The 17 weren't weapons. They weren't trained for destruction. They were created to guide peace. But peace was denied. So now, they were guiding the galaxy in another way. By clearing everything that refused to change. One last stand. Then silence. One brave alien fleet tried to fight back. Millions of ships. Every cannon charged. They launched their final assault toward Aaron's ship. As the weapons flew, she didn't raise a shield. She didn't move. She exhaled. And every ship vanished like sand in the wind. Nothing left. Not even metal dust. Then Kale spoke. It's done. The new galaxy begins. Stars reappeared. But different. Peaceful. Planets stopped fighting. Old enemies shook hands. Even time felt slower. Calmer. And in the center of the galaxy floated a new star. Bright. White. Still. No one lived there. But every race knew what it meant. Earth's children were watching. And no one dared test them again. Final message. Broadcast once. The last message came from Aaron. She stood alone in a field of light. No ship. No noise. Just her voice. We didn't want this. But you made it necessary. We're not rulers. We're reminders. Be kind. Be better, or we return. Then she disappeared. And the screen went black.